Oh, I thought I told you to stop following me. Did I not say to stop following me? Well, I did. I told you over and over and over again to stop following me. I mean, I'm always 2 steps ahead of you. You take 1 step, I take another 2. That's how this works. And you're foolish enough to think that you can actually stop me. Well, since you followed me, and since we're here, I've set up a little bit of a challenge for you. You shouldn't have followed me. Like I said, you should have gone back home to your family. Oh, speaking of family, I got them right here. On the left is your mom, your dad, and your siblings. And here on the right is your wife and children. Which one will you choose? Whichever shall you choose. Your parents and siblings, the one who worked so hard to raise you, to bring you up, to give hope in you, and to make sure you're the best you can be. Or, on the alternative, on the right, you can save your wife and children. The woman of your dreams. The one that you finally found love for. The one that you chose and the one that chose you. And your children. Look at them. Don't you think they could grow up to be something good? A positive impact on the world. Don't you think that? Well, when I say go, you're gonna have to make a decision because the time will start ticking. There's a clock on the wall right there. I'm gonna want you when I snap my fingers. When I snap my fingers, you're gonna have to pick between your parents and siblings or your wife and kids. This isn't a bluff. You think this is a bluff? This is not a bluff. Like I said, always 2 steps ahead. If you don't choose within the time I give you, they both die. What do you mean? Have you lost your mind? I'm just about as sane as anyone else in this world. I just have a different way of showing it. Now you gotta choose. You gotta choose between your parents and siblings, or your wife and wee little children. Go! Clock is ticking. You have 1 minute to decide. Such a thrill, isn't it? Isn't it such a thrill? Don't you just get a kick out of this? The imminent danger of your family having to choose one or the other. I see you, by the way. Don't bother trying to kick down the door, find a way out of here. It's all already locked and boarded up. Now you're going to want to choose. The clock is ticking. Do you get the gravity of this situation now? Time is almost up, my friend. And you don't want to know what happens when time's up. Well, spoiler! Both of them die! Ha! You're not gonna want to miss this. 4, 3, 2, 1. And they're both gone. You could have saved them. You could have saved them. But you didn't. You chose not to. Instead, in a sense of futility, you ran around looking for a way to escape instead of potentially saving somebody, putting your life before others. That shows how selfish a bastard you really are. Isn't this a fun game? Continue at your own discretion. See you later. So, you decided to save your parents and siblings. What a nice decision. But what do you feel now that your wife and kids are dead? I told you to stop following me or bad things would happen. And I'm a man of my word. I will let your parents and siblings go. But just know that you chose them over your wife and children who could have lived a long, good life. Now, your children could have amounted to something. One of them wanted to be a lawyer as it stopped corruption. Now that can't happen. Whereas your parents get to live, and also your siblings. That's what you chose here. It's a choice you'll have to live forever. You'll have to live with forever. Continue on if you dare, but I'll warn you now, you're not gonna like what comes next. So, you chose to save your wife and kids. What a good decision you made. Your little boy, didn't he want to become something like a lawyer? Make the right decisions. Save the world from true corruption. All lawyers may be corrupt, but he wants to make a difference, and you chose to let him live out his dreams. Your daughter, too. She gets to live. Become a movie star or ballerina or whatever the hell she wanted. It doesn't make any difference to me. It makes difference to you. But you did murder those who had raised you from the start. Picked you up and raised you. Looks like you have a sick heart as well. What are you talking about? I'm a monster. I'm not the one who made the decision. You're the one that pushed the button that saved one and murdered the other. If anything, you're just like what I'm like. If anything, this is more of a little social experiment. A more dark and evil one, but still a social experiment nonetheless. How does it feel knowing that your loving and supportive parents, your loving and supported siblings are now dead? It gives me a thrill. Doesn't it just give you a wonderful thrill? No, wait, no. That is... You chose what you chose. And there's no getting out of it. Continue following me if you dare, but I'll warn you, you won't like what happens next. Fool!